fast tutorial on Materialize. You can come to their website. It's boundingboxsoftware.com. For some reason, either my internet connection is exceptionally slow or their page is exceptionally slow. I haven't checked. It's taking forever to load. What is Materialize and whatnot? Well, I'll show it to you. It's this world's simplest thing. So I went and I needed tree bark. I didn't have any, so I've done a quick first pass on some tree bark. Here's my tree bark in Krita, and as I've shown, here it is tiled now, so it tiles up reasonably well. I'm seeing some patterning across. I should shift some things and stuff, but I'll fix that maybe in a second pass. But I want to make sure that I'm in the ballpark to begin with. So to do that, I'm going to fire up Materialize. Now, Materialize doesn't need to be installed. It is just run from the executable. So you just download it and just run the executable whenever you need it. And it pops open this fine bit of software. Believe it or not, this is actually written in Unity. So it was just programmed using the Unity engine as the basis for it. Middle mouse button pans this area around. Right mouse button orbits, and I forget which one zooms. I think, yeah, you may have to use your wheel. I'm using a tablet right now, so it's a little harder. So there's kind of the texture, but we have to load it. So I painted a diffuse map. I'm going to hit the O for open under diffuse map, and it never remembers where you actually opened stuff from because, again, it's just been written in Unity, so it's probably wanting a whole lot of stuff that would help it. So what I did is I created my JPEG from it already. I just used my tool that I use all the time, my Fastone image viewer, which is again free. This is totally free. It's not open source, but Materialize is actually open source too. So I'm going to go down and load that JPEG, and there it is there. So you can see it has no form per se. It's flat. So from this, I can say, go ahead and create a height map. Okay, so I'm going to say create the height map. And now it's going to start giving me a height map. I want to get it a little more contrast. So probably just contrast it up a bit, and it might be pretty good. And you can play with a bunch of these settings if you like. I kind of like details a bit more, pulls it up a little stronger maybe if and I don't want to go quite black, don't want to go quite white. Set as height map. And show full material. So here it is with the height map in there. Okay, you can see it's loading the height map. Now that we have a height map, we can generate a normal map. So I'm going to say create the normal map. And again, we can play with settings. In this case, I'm just going to say set, which is what I've done most of the time. I just set the thing. Show the full material again. So there it is, the full material with a height map and a normal map on it. I'm going to take the smoothness multiplier down so we're not looking at it smooth. And how it look with the parallax displacement just turned down because it won't need to be that high in the final. So this isn't changing the maps, it's just changing the display of it. So that's starting to look like my tree bark I'm after. Again, I'm probably going to have to make tweaks and adjustments and reproduce these, but I want to do a test first. Now we could also produce things like an edge map that's going to pull up edge values, and again, it may allow us to be able to do maybe some color mixing. So we could actually create a black and white that'll allow us to blend those things together, or create an AO pass, and you see it kind of calculate there and the AO power and whatever. And we could set that. So we can save all these. So full material now is looking more like this with those layers in there. And frankly, this probably actually was going to look fine, to be honest with you. So now what we need to do is we can save out what we want. I'm going to save them out as PNGs. You can also do JPEGs. Either will import correctly into Unreal Engine. You can flip the Y depending on which software you're in and what you need. So for the normal map, okay. This should be the right way up. I believe, as far as I know, this is the right way up without the Y flipped. We'll find out, because normal maps, funny, when you load them into Max, they kind of look like they're the wrong way around when you just look at them. If they look the right way around, they're wrong. and that goes for Unreal Engine as well. Okay, so you can get into settings and change that stuff and everything as well. So now we're going to save those. We can save the project if you want, so you can load it back up and tweak it later, which is really handy. Because if you make adjustments to the map, you can just reload this. It'll reload it all back in, and away you go. You can just continue from there. So we can then save each individual map if we need be. So we need the height map. We can grab it if we want, and we'll go back down and just find it. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't retain where you were or anything else. So we need H for height, because you're going to go follow the naming conventions set out in the gaming doc. I want to say select, and I'm going to say save, and tree bark normal, and that's going to be normal, and select, and maybe I want the AO pass or something, and so that's just this here. We can get the AO pass if we wanted. I just save a bunch of them out so that when I get over to my building my shaders in Unreal, I can take them and do whatever I want with them, use them in different ways. So I'm just going to grab those. So that's it. That's Materialize. You've just gone through and built out the maps you're going to need to be able to generate tree bark or anything else. That's all I've used for my entire project. This is the tool I've used to generate my normal maps.